All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. It's been a while since I've covered SOFI and Rocket, so we'll give it a quick look. Tony, I've missed your comments in all honesty, so a little bit of this is actually for you. So let's get into it. Look, I hope you see it already, right? These moving averages really do the job. You can see good things happen over the 8 and the 20, bad things happen under the 8 and the 20, but luckily the last line at least stopped the fall from getting much, much worse, right? So we'll talk about more of the details shortly. Real quick, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are these horizontal support and resistance lines I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe, it does really well with the YouTube algorithms. But even if you don't, just thank you so much for watching these, okay? And then look, I'm not perfect, I'm not all knowing, and yeah, if your opinions are a little different than mine, throw them in the comments, all right? I'm not gonna be here hating and silly stuff like that, okay? We are educated people sharing our opinions, and I'd very much like to hear yours as well, okay? So look, let's get into it. Honestly, I don't remember the last time I covered SOFI, but I do remember it was before this drop. I'm gonna assume that this 650 line was that line that I kept saying we cannot lose, because clearly you do see what happens. We actually go lower than the 200 moving average. You know I hate that, but even though the 200 is last on our list, you can see it was the 100, the blue line, that was actually the last one in this cluster. So the 100 ends up acting as that like last one that you can't break. And look, it does a really good job, right? We definitely close under it a number of days, but ultimately all we're kind of doing is oscillating around it, and now it actually looks like we're starting to work our way up, which is nice. I still hate the fact that the 20 is going down. I'm glad that the 8 is moving its way on up, but yeah, we got to get back over the 20, because again, you can see what happens when you're over both lines. You can see what happens when you're under both lines, right? The other thing that's at least important to call out, look, I hate when a stock is in a cluster with all 5 moving averages. You can see all 5 of our colored lines are literally a stone throw away. And honestly, anything can happen to one of these. You basically go from the bottom to the top to the bottom to the top, and then you just kind of either break the top one and fly, or lose the bottom one and die, all right? And it's really hard to kind of guess what's going to happen anytime in between that, until, like I said, you get the confirmations of up or down, right? So SOFI is definitely a little worrisome, to say the least. There's a couple things I'm going to draw really quickly that I just kind of want to see. Man, I want to use this one. I'm going to use the last big candle. So that's that trend line right there. I think it's going to be a little difficult getting over this 596. Let's roughly call it $6. If we can get over that $6 line, I think there's a good chance that we might break it. But then again, we have the 50 not that far, right? Maybe that's around 630. If I had to guess, I'll get the exact. Let's just get the exact number right now. What's this thing at? Yeah, 630, right? So breaking the downtrend still has a little bit of a resistance, which I just kind of don't like. But yeah, over 630 is obviously going to be great. I'm going to put a little more emphasis on that line than that one, actually, for sure. But yeah, I think this downtrend is going to be important. The other thing that might happen is we might hit this and come back down, right? So this is still definitely a wall, right? Because we've hit it, fell. Let's see what happens the next time we hit it. But again, it kind of goes back to the 20 going down might end up being that trend line naturally. So just I'm a little worried on everything I'm seeing. I don't think there's a lot here saying that we're going to break the top. I still think what's really happening is we're trying not to lose the bottom and die, okay? So I'm a little worried on SOFI for sure. Now look, it seems like the MACD wants to recover. It obviously did a pretty nasty downtrend and is kind of working its way up. RSI as well, definitely on a downtrend that might be flattening out. I'm actually seeing just a little peak of green on top, just a little peak of green on top. But you know, if you watch my videos, 80% of the work is up here. You really got to break some important moving averages before I'll start to even put any weight down here, okay? So One more time, anything can happen within those 5 lines. Let's take a look at the weekly. Not really where we want to be on the weekly. Look, I'm glad we see this bounce coming off the 20, but again, the daily has a cluster of 5. This one has a cluster of 3, and it kind of seems like we're going from the top to the bottom, hopefully back to the top. I don't know if we're going to come back to the bottom, but yeah, I think this 555, which I think lines up pretty well with this right here. Yeah, literally to the penny almost. 555 is really what we have to be watching now. We cannot go under that. Excuse me. And again, I think 630 is probably the big number to hope for. So not a very positive outlook here. Definitely still doing better than January, right? I mean, we're still up on the run if you held it, right? Just because you didn't sell doesn't necessarily mean you didn't still profit from this thing, right? But yeah, a lot of pressure on that 100 one last time. Let's take a look at Rocket. Oh, Rocket has a little bit better chart going on here. All right, so where are we? We're trying to break all the moving averages. We fail a little bit. We actually go all the way to the bottom. Try to break all the moving averages. This is not confirmation, but this is not a bad candle by any means, actually. This is, we at least go nowhere near 50% candle. We at least stay over the 50 moving average. I mean, this could have been better, but this definitely could have been worse. And right now, what I'm trying to do is so I'm obviously not in right now. Yeah, I'm going to set my alert, I think here. Let me see. So if you add... Yeah, that's less than 10%. I would be way more interested at 915, trying to ride that up to 850, really. I'm going to go ahead and set my alert for 916. Let's go ahead and get to know that. And I'll be honest, I think I'm actually going to go ahead and send an alert right here. I'd like to know if we hit 887, which is a penny over this candle. Again, look, same comments. Anything can happen in a cluster of all 5. Again, you can see all 5 of the colored lines are just a stone's throw away. This thing is trying to make it look like it wants to break the top and fly, all right? So that definitely piques my interest. You can see there's so much red behind so much green. We're pretty much at this plateau right here. Yeah, I'd love to break this and then hopefully ride some 2 good channels, actually. But look, roughly speaking, from here to here is almost 10%, right? You're adding roughly 90 cents to take you to 10. And then from here to here is almost another 10%, right? You're going just under $1. So, I mean, there's almost a 20% swing here. That's also a little bit of why I was kind of interested down here. But yeah, 915 is definitely going to be the better number. Look, anything can happen, and this very easily can suck it right back down into 857 or 843. Like I'm telling you, you see it here. This looked like it should have kept going and it didn't, right? This looked like it should have kept going and didn't. This does too, but again, we need that confirmation. So I'm more interested on Rocket than SOFI, to say the least, but nothing is making me for certain believe. Again, our MACD doesn't look that bad. I actually do see green over red. We're actually in the positive. RSI doesn't look bad. I see green over red. We're not at a very high line. I wish volume looked a little better. There's actually way more selling than buying the last, 3, 6, 7 days, right? That's actually not good. Maybe when you factor in these couple, maybe that'll kind of average out. But I think even going through the 13th, I think there's still a little, like, these two offset, those two, like, I don't know if this one's enough. Maybe it like roughly evens out, but I think I'm still seeing a little bit more selling than buying since the 13th, right? So little more proof is definitely needed, but yeah, it should be easy to tell that this one's better, right? Again, where are we on the weekly? So we have broken all the moving averages. We definitely need better confirmation, right? So yeah, I think getting near this 915 line is going to be important for the daily and for the weekly. But yeah, I'd rather be over all the lines on the weekly than where SOFI was, right? Because SOFI is just kind of slap right in the middle, right? Definitely better than under, but over is for sure better, right? So again, hey, if you disagree with anything, throw it in the comments. Otherwise, I appreciate your time so much. Thank you.